felt that was not here in YouTube as much as I would like to see it. Although, heck, I love to look at the channels that our gay brothers have done, and they're talking of, you know, it's fun to talk about dating someone and seeing something get serious, and two people's worlds coming into one while still maintaining each individuality. Brad and I are 50-somethings, and it was a little difficult for us to get to where we are now. There was so much animosity that we had to deal with in school, with the family, friends that we used to have before we came out, friends that we probably didn't have after we came out. Coming out gay in the 80s was very, very different. We all lost a lot of friends who were brave enough to come out due to HIV, and I don't know how many people I said goodbye to. I guess maybe from 1982 to about 1986, 7, something like that. So it did do a lot for the ego and the feeling of safety. It wasn't so great. Anyway, Brad and I met at a very, very good place. There was a psychologist in South Florida, Norma Marin, who had created a concept organization called Avant-Garde Singles. She wanted to institute a dating site that was for HIV positive men, and that she screened and that she thought would be good for each other personality wise, from the way she individually interviewed each person. That's what was later expanded to non-HIV positive, or HIV negative people. And for your $300, you were interviewed, and she had very, very strong protocols to follow for the two that went out on a date. When she called one up on a Friday night and one up on a Saturday morning and said, "Would you like to get together Saturday night or Sunday and have a daytime or an evening?" When people took the daytime, it was safer, it felt, and people took the evening if they just figured, well, it wouldn't be such a loss if they run into their friends and can dance at a club anyway. So, you know, we did have a lot of up climbing of that mountain to get through to where we are now. And it's really a beautiful thing to have a relationship that does last over 20 years. Brad and I get along so much better now. And that was because financially, yes, things start to become a little more stable. We became better at being ourselves, and we both are very knowledgeable in how to take care of people in business, you know, and how to treat people in business. It's the golden rule, guys. Those that realize the fact that if you treat someone the way you want to be treated, oh so simple, that it really does work to one's advantage, and the success is built. My guess is that in the YouTube family, so many of the first few times somebody visits with you, they probably are just looking at this person and seeing how do they feel about the personality, how do they feel about the integrity. If they're not a very outgoing gay person, would they gravitate to someone who's a little more conservative and shy? If they're you know, a conservative person themselves, that might work. But if you are a party person and you, at 25, say for example, you don't even have that many friends that have HIV infections, or if they are dealing with it, they're dealing with it very successfully because the medicines work pretty well. And you know, so the bar scene is back again where it was diminished when Brad and I were dating. So that's kind of the concept when I thought of a name for the channel. Living Happily Ever After, or Living Happily Gay Ever After, came to my mind because that was not something that I took for granted, and I know Brad didn't either. And we had our ups and downs. frankly, it's much better for us two now than it ever has been. And that is a tribute to us both sticking it out. But once the honeymoon was over initially, and we met when we were in our late 20s, early 30s, we had businesses to cultivate, and I was also in the process of getting fired from a job that I had for 15 years as a pharmaceutical territory manager, #1 in the Southeast region for Johnson & Johnson's McNeil division, and unfortunately my manager got transferred to the home office, and second in line was somebody who just didn't like gay people, and he sat me down one day before a work session, and I was floored when he said, called me Rocky, when I know what you are, and I just detest it. My brother-in-law, my wife's brother, is gay. I have to put up with him, but I don't have to put up with you. So I would advise you to look for other employment and just say that you're leaving us voluntarily, because I'm going to make your life miserable. And that was one more thing that was just, it didn't seem plausible after doing so well for so many years that you were going to be on the plate served. So your head would be on the platter served with some parsley and crabapple slices, and maybe a little bit of I don't know, some cantaloupe and honeydew in between for color. So happily gay ever after, yes indeed. I tell you one thing that really is encouraging, and I said this to Brad even this morning. We are very, very fortunate to transition into this third or fourth phase of our lives, where so many things that we used to get worked up with about were foolish, and came from not learning how to cooperate fully with your partner. I don't think that you loved your partner, you made love to your partner, you called each other best friends, you might have bought rings, but I think for two guys like us who never lived with anyone before, I think it was difficult to walk the walk and talk the talk, and at the same time. We talked plenty, but the walk was difficult. And many weekends there was a lot of lively discussions going on between us. And it was differences of opinion about what to spend, differences of opinion on what to do socially, differences of opinion on how to deal with family issues. And that went on and went on and went on. But as I said before, I said to Brad this morning, I found out one thing, Brad, that I didn't realize. I feel exactly the same inside as I did when I was 30. That kid is still there. And that surprised me. I did not think life was going to be quite that likely to leave my thought processes unscathed, and just as optimistic, and just as maybe foolish, giddy and foolish, optimistic and foolish, just foolish. And you know what? It's fun to be that way, because when you're foolish, you do dream. I have as many dreams as I've had in the past. They went away when I was having difficulties with other issues, job and health primarily. We'll get into that in other weeks and months to come. But living happily, gay ever after, is a wonderful thing. It's a new status of peace, and it's a reality. And it does happen. And I think that when you guys that have these wonderful shows, and I just love you all, and I want to have the opportunity to talk with you and hopefully corroborate with you, because you bring out the best in me, and I'm sure, I have a feeling I'll bring out the best in y'all. But for now, I just wanted to say welcome to our channel, Happily Gay Ever After. We'll try to get a film on once a week, and there's so many things going on that there's no shortage of things to talk about. I do use a lot of headline articles that appear in Queer Tea, and I like that news source bulletin because it really does have some very thought-provoking topics in it. And for future reference, it's available now as an app. Say, for example, on I'm not so sure. It's just definitely email it. Definitely also on YouTube. And I just noticed it this past week. And I'll use the media for opening discussions. I don't think that will work with their discussion within. Third-party people authored those, and I don't think that I want to start something where I'll get into any kind of litigious situations. But I tell you what, there's some beautiful discussions in there that we can draw out, and we'll just use our resources. We'll use our Instagram, we'll use our Twitter, we'll use our Facebook, and we'll use the email. And you could always reach me at PNAWROC1 at bellsouth.net, PNAWROC1 at bellsouth.net, or tweet me. It's at Rocky 032154, and Facebook is Facebook/1594, and we'll get some lively discussions going. And I am very grateful to be with you. It's an honor. I'm hoping that we could all enjoy life together and learn from each other. And I have no self-conceived notions of where this is going to go, other than good and better and best. And I'll need your help to get this thing going, because quite frankly there was some emergencies that I'm still dealing with, paying for back surgery from 2014, where I still owe the back surgeon about $170,000 that I'm paying off monthly. No interest, but about 500 something bucks a month. And the usual house expenses, and et cetera, and et cetera, and et cetera. So this will be something that I would be very honestly grateful to you for your support, both in subscriptions and liking us. And please do like us and tell your friends. I would love, like I say, to get to learn more of the how we feel in the various age groups that are in the gay community. How you feel about older men as a potential dating person, or a confidant, or is that just not comfortable for you? But all I can say to you as a 50-something guy that's a kid inside is, you spend 5 minutes with me or spend an evening with me, and you're going to forget that I'm older than you, because that's just the way it is. The sense of wonder never leaves. We kill it off. We overextend that rubber band of opportunity and snap it. And it doesn't have to happen, because every day is a good day, and you learn, if it wasn't a good day, when you see something repeat similarly, cut it out. Don't let it get grandiose. Don't let it become a boulder on your back. Just brush it off as some grains of sand and start over again. And yes, never go to bed angry with your partner. It's not a good place to be. Anyway, this is Paul with my very first Happily Gay Ever After video, and look forward to talking with you in future months, days, weeks, all the time. Thank you very much. Remember to subscribe, support us, and tell your friends. Bye now.